Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Cassandra Terry, and I'm running a couple of minutes late because my gym workout ran a little late, so I apologize for that. But we are here, and here is everywhere. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we are ready to go live and talk about focusing on Friday. Friday is our Focus Friday day, and we will talk about focus. I'll give you guys a moment to get logged in. I see you joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Focus Friday. Focus Friday. Focus is an important topic. We have been taught for so long the importance of multitasking, and we talk about all the time I can do these many things at once. And the truth is that you can only do one thing at a time well. So if you're splitting your time, you're splitting your energy, you're splitting your attention, good morning, Ebony McRae, then you are missing the opportunity to really hone in and give your best to anything. So we want to talk about focus. And like many days, I've got a quote for you guys today. And the quote is, the first requisite for success is the ability to apply your physical and mental energies to one problem without growing weary. And that was written by Thomas Edison a very, very long time ago. The first requisite for success is the ability to apply your physical and mental energies to one problem without growing weary. And to do something for a while without growing weary is a challenge these days because we're a culture of sound bites. We're a culture of quick commercials, just holding on to our attention for just a little bit of time. And then, we're out of here. Our brains just start to drift away. And it's because we're constantly taking in so much information, so many sound bites, so many snippets of data all the time that it gets really, really difficult for us to sit down, hone in, and really focus on something. But focus is a skill. Focus can separate the great from the good. The ability to block out the noise and to really hone in on something is a skill that will take you a long way in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So on Fridays, that's what we focus on, is focusing and the importance of it. And sometimes we also will go over some different techniques that may help you be able to focus a little bit better. So the 7-second reels, the sound bites, the memes, it really makes it difficult for us to focus in. And so let's try to do that now. Let's focus for a few minutes. And we have to step away from the kind of instant gratification culture that we've become. Especially, and the younger you are, the more true that can be, because that's what you're accustomed to, everything moving so quickly and everything being just little bites of information at a time. And if it doesn't come quickly, what happens? That's where the growing weary comes in. But the big things that we want out of life, the shifts that we really want to make so that we end up with the life that we desire, so that we end up accomplishing the things that are important to us, it's going to require that focus, that ability to hone in and block out everything else for a period of time so that you can focus and move towards the life that you're trying to accomplish, or whatever goal it is at any point in time that you're trying to accomplish. So let's work on that and not growing weary. And one way that can really help with the weariness, and I talk about this quite a bit, is when you have a big goal, you've got to break it down into milestones. And that way you're not waiting until the very end to celebrate. You're not waiting till the very end to realize that you are making progress. You're checking in with yourself on a regular basis. And that does a few things. One thing it does is it encourages you. It reinforces for you that you're making progress. And the fact that you're making progress will keep you going. You're like, okay, I may not be there yet, but look how far I've come from where I started. Important data point. And data points is something I can't help but to say. I'm in my day job. I'm in IT and technology, so we talk about data points all the time and analytics. So it's just one of those words that rolls off the tongue. But data points are important. It's a place where you check in and you can celebrate. It's like I'm not at the victory line yet, but I've made that first curve. I'm so much farther than the starting point. And so that is so encouraging, and it'll make you feel good, and it'll make you realize that, hey, I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. I can see myself moving towards my goal. So have the big goal, but break it down into milestones so that you can track your progress and you can keep yourself encouraged, and that will help you to not grow weary. All right. And how do we focus on one problem without growing weary? One of the ways that we can do that is make sure it's the right problem or the right task. It's something that's really relevant. It's something that's really important to you. We all have been given data over the years, starting with, at home. Our parents had dreams for us. Our parents saw our personalities or saw the things that we tinkered with or what we were excited about as a kid, and they determined that, you should do this or you should do that. I can see you being really successful at this. And they don't mean any harm. They just are seeing what they're seeing, and they're excited about your accomplishments, and they want to give you their input. Sometimes that input, it may be true that you may be good at something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what gets you excited. That's what gets you going. That's what really feeds you. So you've got to find your thing. And when we're little, when we're younger, we're kind of just doing what we need to do to please those around us. And that's part of growing up. But at some point in time, you've got to check in with yourself and say, what lights me up? What gets me excited? What activities would I be involved in even if I wasn't paid for them? What are the things that I enjoy just that much? You got to get clear about what it is that you really want out of your life. You only get this one, as far as we know. So, with this one, how would you like to see it unfold? What are the things that you'd like to accomplish? Think about that and get really clear about that. And when you set goals in that space, if you set goals in that space, you're more likely to accomplish them because they align with what it is you really enjoy doing. And then align them with your values. What's important to you as a person? If you're trying to set goals and you're trying to do things, but you've got an internal conflict because it doesn't really align with what you think is the right thing to do or how you think things should unfold, you need to spend some time thinking about that. Aligning your goals and focusing on your values also will increase the possibility of you actually following through and accomplishing them. So awareness, clarity is always going to be number one. Getting clear about what it is you want. Once you know that, it really makes it a lot easier for you to function. And then you've got to remove the distractions. You've got to build some time. You have to. I'm from Texas, so I sometimes I hear myself back, and in one sitting, I've say gotta so many times that it's like nails on a chalkboard. So I'm working on that with this Texas girl. You can take the girl out of Texas, but you can't take Texas out of the girl. So sometimes I hear myself, and it's funny. But you have to remove those distractions. Build a time to really focus on what it is that you desire. If you want to write a book, we talked about this last week, then you have to put some time on the calendar that you commit to and that you share with the people around you that this is my writing time. From Monday through Friday, from this time to this time, I'm going to be writing. And that's what you do. And you make that time sacred. You really work on it so that you train those around you to support you in it as well. So build out your time for whatever it is that you want to do, calendar that time, protect that time, and get busy, with that activity. It's one thing to dream about it, it's one thing to set the goal, but until you start to put some energy behind it and you're actually doing it, it's just a dream. You have to put energy behind it for you to actually start to make progress. So calendar that time so that you are working on what's important to you. So, and then you have to build in, sometimes you've removed the distractions, you've you've set your time aside, and the brain is still just everywhere. You just absolutely don't seem to be able to focus. That's when you got to give yourself a little grace, and you have to do a little bit of introspection. Am I trying to really hone in during the time of the day when I'm sleepiest, when I'm hungriest, when, whatever? Get up, walk away from the situation, allow your brain to relax. If you can get outside and get a little sunshine, get in nature for a few minutes, that's ideal. If not, that's okay too. Just get up and move around your place and just walk away from it for a minute. What you don't want is to fight with yourself. When you're trying to focus and it's not happening, realize that it's not happening. Give yourself a little grace and step away. And once you've relaxed, come back into it and give it another shot. You have to learn to be gentle with yourself, give yourself a little grace, and figure out how you work and when you work best. I know every day at somewhere between 2 and 4, I'm no good. I'm extremely tired. I'm sleepy because I get up every morning at 5. I work out before I do my live. I'm still hot and sweaty right now. So when this is done, I have to go take my shower and then I'll start my work day. So by the time 2, 3 o'clock rolls around, a lot has happened in my day already. So I know this. So it is not, it's common for me to step away from my laptop and take a nap. Everybody's situation is different, and I respect that. I've been at my job for 21 years. My manager knows when I get tired. It's not something that is hidden, it's not something that I do sneaky. Like, I will actually send him a message and say, hey, I've hit a wall. I can't concentrate anymore. So I'm going to step away for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever the case may be. And I'll log back on after I've had a little bit of rest. So I've earned that respect between he and I because he knows that I'm going to get the job done. And so I step away, allow my body to get what it needs, a little bit of rest. I may not even go to sleep. I may just have to stop for a little bit and be still and be quiet. And then as my brain relaxes, I can feel myself getting re-energized, and then I can get back into my day and actually be productive. If I push through, I can get the job done. If there's meetings or something that I absolutely can't stop, I can get the job done, but the quality of my work is better if I give myself that opportunity to step away. And I know that about myself. So the more we know about ourselves, the better we can manage our time and be more productive when we need to be. So really think about your and ask yourself some of those questions. When am I a morning person? Am I good in the afternoon? Do I work better in the evenings? I work with this guy from the UK, and I don't know when this guy sleeps. He is literally on and doing stuff around the clock, but he's a night person. So it may be midnight in his day, and he and I are working together on a live on an audio event on LinkedIn. And he's fine with that because he prefers to be up at night. He knows that about himself. So he packs his evenings and he tries to sleep more during the morning time, his morning, just because he knows his schedule. So things like that, and really tapping in and understanding how your body works and what your clock is like, will help you make good decisions, and it'll help you plan better so that you can do the things that you need to do and do them well. So think about that. And then when you're trying to expand your focus, understand that you're really swimming against the current. We live in a lot in a time, as I said before, where everything is little bitty bites of information. So start small. Start small. You may challenge yourself to pick up a book or pick up an article or read something online and see, just test yourself. Find your, kind of your where you are right now. What's your baseline? And try to read something for a few minutes and see how long it is before you start to drift away mentally. And when you start to drift away, do just that. Drift away. Because all we're trying to get is a baseline, a measurement. I can read for about a minute and a half, and then my brain starts to go away. Okay, that's your baseline, 90 seconds. And so now you're going to take that 90 seconds and you're going to start to work on expanding it. So you may say, I am going to sit for 2 minutes and I'm going to read as far as I can in those 2 minutes. And then a little while later, the next time, 2.5 minutes. Really push yourself for 5 minutes. I'm gonna push everything else aside and I'm just gonna write whatever comes to mind for 5 minutes. Or I'm gonna read for 5 minutes. And so you just start with those small reps once you know where you are, and you just keep expanding it until you get to the point to where you can, for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever the case may be, you can really hone in. But what we tend to do is we set these grandiose goals for ourselves. I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks. And then when we don't do it, we beat ourselves up and we tell ourselves, I'm a failure. I just can't do anything right. And then that negative self-talk starts. And before you know it, we're in a cycle to where we've shut ourselves down, and we're reinforcing it by setting these unrealistic goals. So if you know right now, a minute is all that you can give to a task before you lose interest, just recognize that as what it is. Don't beat yourself up about it. Understand that your brain over time has been conditioned to that, because that's the way we work, right? We are always just taking in so much data. Our brains are firing constantly all day long because something is coming our way. Your phone is beeping, it's ringing, messages are coming in, all these notifications. This is happening on social media. Then, and your job is going on. You're trying to figure out what you're going to eat. I mean, it just never stops. Our brains are flooded with data constantly until we go to sleep. And then sometimes we don't sleep that well because all this stuff is happening in our head still. We're trying to sort it out so we can relax and go to sleep. So that's why learning to focus, learning to deal with the noise and move it out of the way, quiet it, is a skill now that so many people don't have. So if you can learn how to focus and really hone in on what it is that you're trying to do, you separate yourself from the pack just by increasing that ability to focus. What you do, you'll do better, because all your energy, everything is going into that one task. And that's just not how most people work anymore. I'm cooking and I'm checking emails and I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at my what's on TV. There's all this stuff going on. So I shouldn't be surprised if I burn the food. I'm not giving it any attention. I shouldn't be surprised if I miss the headline that was on the news, because I've got these 3 or 4 other things that I'm doing as well. So as much as we like to think of ourselves as multitaskers, you're missing important data if you're if you're trying to focus on multiple things at a time. Our brains really aren't wired that way. We can only do one thing well at a time. And the sooner we realize that, and we take that energy and we take all of that and put it into the task at hand, the more successful we will be at completing that task and completing it well. So focus is a great game changer. It's a differentiator. It moves you away from the pack, and it will give you something that a lot of people don't have anymore. So let me go back to the quote for just a second, because quite a few people have joined since we started, and I'm going to recognize you guys in just a moment. The first requisite for success is the ability to apply your physical and your mental energies to one problem without growing weary. And I think you guys probably saw when you joined the call, or saw when I posted that it was going to be going on. Focus, follow one. What is it? FOCUS. It's follow one course until successful. So the same. So this quote ties with that very, very well. Stay the course. Focus on this one thing. Do it well until it's done, and then you move on to the next thing. And if we can learn to operate like that, it sounds like it's going to slow things down. I'm just doing one thing at a time. That sounds so boring. It's going to take me forever to get through. But you actually are a lot faster and you get more done if you're focusing, because when you're trying to do 3 or 4 things, you're half doing them all. I guess I should say quarter doing them all because there's four of them. You're just putting a little bit of energy into each thing. And sometimes you don't get any of them finished because you're jumping from here to here to here. What you really want to do is focus on the task at hand, knock it out well. The next task is waiting for you. Do it all over again. So focus actually allows you to do more and to do more better than trying to do several things at a time. The first requisite for success is the ability to apply your physical and mental energies to one problem without growing weary. That weariness comes from that instant gratification mindset that so many of us have because of the culture that we live in. That's kind of what's been built. Everybody wants to be skinny overnight. Everybody wants to be famous overnight. Everybody wants to be rich overnight. And we look at people who seems to be their story, but it's very seldom fact. Usually, when somebody becomes an overnight success, they have worked behind the scenes without us being aware of them and what they were doing for years and years and years. And then they make that right connection. They make that right post. They meet the right person and they appear to us to have shown up overnight. Tabitha Brown is who I always think about. That woman is everywhere. She's in all the stores. She's got her cookbooks. She has her show with her husband. She has all the stuff she does on social media. She has her hair care products. She has her seasonings. Everywhere you turn, you see Tabitha Brown smiling, encouraging, making things happen. To us, she sprung up overnight. That woman has been working, auditioning, making things happen quietly for years until the right combination happened. Her number was called, her name was called, and now she's everywhere. It wasn't an overnight success. There's rarely does that even exist. I'm sure there are some people that's their story, but that's not the norm. We don't see the work, we don't see the sacrifice, we don't see the blood, sweat, and tears. We just see the results. And so we want that same thing. We want the result, and it appears to be instantaneous because we don't have the view of everything that they've done all along. So don't discredit somebody's hustle because we see the end result. If we could peel back and really read their story, we would realize how much work, how much focus, how much hustle, how much sacrifice, how much blood, sweat, and tears went into what we see as an overnight success. So understand that when you're comparing yourself to somebody else, 99.9% of the time, you're not comparing apples to oranges. They are so far along in their journey where you may just be starting that same journey. There are people who I see on every platform that I show up on that has thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. Every time they post something, it gets reshared hundreds of times. All these people are commenting. It's like, oh my God, if I compared myself to them, I would just shut my laptop down and never try it again. But I don't know how long they've been doing what they're doing. I don't know what they did to build that presence and have that level of success. I just know that I've got to keep going. If that's what I want for myself, if I want to get the messages out that I think are important to get out, I just have to keep going, one day at a time, one idea at a time, one live at a time, one post at a time. And if I keep doing that, and doing it authentically the way I do it, the results will come. And that's what I want you to tell yourself. Whatever it is that you're wanting, whatever is really in your soul that you want to accomplish, understand that it's one decision, one choice, one step, one day at a time. And if you're doing that, you are winning. You are progressing towards the things that are important to you. If you're not doing that, then you can't be surprised when the results don't come. Am I focused on what I'm saying is important to me? Am I doing the work to accomplish what it is that I want? Am I making decisions day in and day out that are going to yield the results that I say I want? And you have to be able to be honest with yourself and evaluate yourself on a regular basis. Check in, not to beat yourself up, but to see how you're doing and whether or not you need to make any adjustments. That's what you have to do. And if you're willing to do that, it's only a matter of time before the results show up. So you can't be weary. You can't grow weary of doing the right thing. You can't grow weary of working in on your craft, whatever that may be. If you're a cook, keep cooking. Keep sharing your food with people. Share your videos. Let us see how good the food looks. Let us see how you prepare it. The audience will come. If you're a writer, keep writing. If you're a singer, keep singing. But you've got to be committed to whatever your craft is. And being committed means day to day decisions. Day to day. All day long, we're making decisions. Realize that. Control your destiny by taking hold of those decisions that you're making. Don't just allow things to happen, but get in the driver's seat of your life. Focus on what it is that you really desire and do the steps that's necessary to get there, and you will get there. That much I can promise. And so we'll close today with the quote one more time because I see people are still joining. The first requisite for success is the ability to apply your physical and mental energies to one problem without growing weary. So you've got to hone in your energy, your time, your effort, all your resources. If there's something that you really want, point them all at that thing. And then make sure you've got milestones along the way so you can see yourself making the progress necessary to get to your end goal. If you only see the end goal, you can grow weary because you won't realize the strides that you're making. So have the end goal in mind, have your milestones along the way, celebrate those milestones. Take the time to stop and notice your progress because that will give you the energy to keep moving forward. So I see quite a few of you guys have joined from different places. So that's it for today. But I did want to say hello to Ebony. I did see you when you joined. Good morning, Kim and Shay, Alicia. Kimberly said yes, moving forward. Ronan, I hope you are having a nice day as well. Shay said nature and movement definitely are the best ways to reset and refocus for me. Me too, because we can get so honed in that our brains just kind of shut down. And if you can just get up and move a little bit, you'll feel yourself able to get reconnected to what it is you're trying to accomplish. Let's see. Kim says, yes, I had to schedule my days because I changed shifts and it's definitely an adjustment. I watch live and I take me a nap around 11 and 12, then I get ready for work. Knowing your schedule, knowing what your body needs, taking the time to give your body that will help you. So you just have to start by focusing on you and what you need in order to be most productive. Hello, is it Amelie from London? Welcome. I'm sorry I'm butchering your name, I know. Sherry, good morning. Good morning, Olu. Olu says, I agree, Cassandra Terry. Just keep at it regardless of any consideration, thought, feelings, anything, or anyone else. Just keep going. If you don't get anything else from today, get what Olu just said. Just keep going. Keep doing the work. Keep making the choices that will move you towards the life that you desire. And if you do that, it's only a matter of time before you look back and go, I can't believe that this has happened. I can't believe that the floodgates finally opened, but they will. Just keep doing the work. Let's see. Olu saying good morning to all of you guys. And he's from Nigeria. All right, so I think that's everyone who's commented. So I am going to wish you all a wonderful Focus Friday. You can DM me if you have any questions, if you're looking for techniques on maybe how to focus. I'm happy to share some resources that I have. My name is Cassandra Terry. You see right beneath my name there, if you're watching, the voice within wins. And the reason that I always post that with my name is because that's the foundation of everything that I believe. If we tap into our inner voice and we hear the messages that we are saying about ourselves and how we feel about ourselves, if we can get that under control, the rest of the world will align. Obstacles will get out of your way because you won't see them as obstacles. You will be in a situation where you're figuring out how to overcome them instead of being stopped by them. They won't stop you. They may make you change your route, they may make you do things differently. But when you believe in yourself, you'll be surprised at how things will align with that belief. You show up differently. So, getting control of your inner voice and making sure that it's advocating for you instead of criticizing you is our life's work. Because once we master that, everything else aligns. So, I've got a free course. It's called Transforming Your Inner Critic into Your Inner Advocate. You guys, if anybody's interested in that course, drop me a DM or drop a message on the live, and I'll get it out to you. It's for some of you, it's already posted in the comments, but I'm happy to give you a quick response and get it to you. It will help you. It'll help you get in touch with that inner voice. It will help you hear what it is that you're saying about yourself, and it'll show you how to begin to reframe those automatic messages so that you are not in your own way. The world is tough enough. It throws enough obstacles at us, but those obstacles are nothing compared to what's going on with us typically internally. So if you can master that, everything else will align. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much. Ebony, I will send you the course in just a moment. So the rest of you, thank you guys for joining in. We will be back Monday at noon Central for Mindset Monday, and then we'll get back to the regular schedule Tuesday through Friday. I'm at 7:15 Central. Monday is the only day that I'm at noon. So looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Have an absolutely wonderful weekend. Stay focused today. Recharge your battery on the over the weekend, and then we'll get started again on Monday. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.